Alright, so yesterday's test was about 800 psi directly off of the big nitrogen tank. Today we're going to see how it performs at 1600 psi off of this bottle. And you see we're right at 4500 psi. We got pretty much a full magazine. So we're going to compare that to the counter after this shoot is over. Let me get this camera set up. And same deal, we're gonna just go from 1 to 8,000 rounds a minute with the AutoPulse settings. Those usually aren't that sticky, but it's new. So 1,000. 2. 3. Alright, having problems with 3. Let's try 4. 5. 6. 7. And 8. Let's go back down to 3. We'll change our pulse on 3. Pulse looks way high. Let's bring it down to 4. Even lower. 2.5. 3. 3.5. 4. 4.5. 5. 5.5. 6. So back up to 8,000. That's it. Now our counter's off because of all those times we were pulling the trigger at, what was that, 3,000. But anyway, so out of all those, at 1600 psi, it fired great, except for on 3,000. And you might be wondering why I don't have the muzzle on here. When you're testing at high rates of fire, you don't want to have your muzzle on here, because what will happen is, if you don't have everything just right, you'll get a low velocity BB go out of the barrel, and you'll have a high velocity BB go out of the barrel right after it and slam into it, and it'll just throw them everywhere. And sometimes they can even that can even happen in the muzzle, so it's just not on there for testing. So the other day when I was exercising, if you caught that video, this stupid emoji came up and I could not get it off of my phone. But I finally figured out, but I realized it popped up on my test. So we're going to call this the Bruce Rowe emoji. Woo! But seriously, I did want to show you the PSI afterwards. So we're going to flip the camera around. Alright, so we're right at 2,000 psi off of a 1,600 psi bottle with one full mag. And you lose pressure quicker when you're shooting higher psi, because obviously you get more air in each shot, and you drop below your psi output quicker the higher up it is, if that makes sense. So we don't have very far to go before we drop below 1,600 psi. Now, if this was 1,000 psi bottle, we could probably get about 5.5 full magazines before it dropped down below 1,000 psi. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed. Later.